Thea Realty and Finance is a one-stop shop. We do it all from loan, real estate, property management, credit fix, and credit rescore, and so much more. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate, including homes, businesses, or commercial real estate, Johnson Hormoz can guide you through the process. If you're looking for a loan, including purchase loan, refinance, FHA, VA, investment, DSCR, hard money, W-2 only, bank statement, stated income, reverse mortgage, and so many other loan programs, give Johnson Hormoz a call. With over 17 years of experience and several hundreds of successful transactions, he can guide you through the process. If you have no credit, bad credit, bankruptcy, foreclosure on your credit report, let Johnson Hormoz help you to get your loan.
Let me coach you to success. Your success is my goal.
DRE number 017-68924. NMLS number 264726.
بدرنش لما ابن امتي موغب خخورزخي تبيعي خودي وشارخلا إن من قم شارخلا خكمة بقارة بقرتهم وعني بزاوي بخلون خرطة تعزاخن آل خورزت أوديو بقارة قامة قد بقرتهم وإلى قد من ديان قد ميرين وكما خورز داور أن فيديتون يليتون باشور مدرزويز سيبوديتون بقرتهم قد مزاكيوي عشولا وادو رابط دیسپلین بیایله من دی قد امسیتون اختون زویز متیتون مرزه چون خرس زویز رابط بوش حسنه ایله من پالاته اینه خاصه جشن اتلین بیایتون عشوله اودیتون لی من قم شاریتون زویزوخون خروزه و من دید قد که تخمنتوخون متتون سیبودیتون و متیمون مرزه و اکسس لابی لوخون الله خارطب دیر پیشن زویز خریتوخون مرزون لی اتخی کمسیتون نیخه دیسپلین میتون اگه خیلی خون قدام سیتون زویز متیتون مرزه خب قارا خیت بقرتون وقت علا قد پیمنت مسویدو تو مگرودیتون اومنی قام یا قد ایل زلدو تکمت زلد امسیتون اهلون ل نویتون منشی زلد هلون ل و این سری قام توخونی لزیگه مخیمون قد کریدیت کارتی ل یا بانکی ل قد زیگه مخیمون تیمون قد منشیتون و یا موویت ل مریتون و منشیتون و قد تیمون most likely اینو یا سری قام توخون انی ل خشوله اودی یعنی ل ریپورت اودی ل اینه بگر لیشان سرای تنها کر لیشان خلی هم زمیتون منه چون آنینا قد کمسی آمدی شپیله. بقرار خیتا قد بقرتون و علا قد انبیایتون هن کردیت سکورو خون را با زلد مزیدیتون لا مت ارخات اتن کد ناشقیانو کردیت فایلت قد اتله پرشت لمدو ناشخینه ایتر لیا خا ارخمتوی تن ارخن اودیت لا من كل بوش زلد شوية عملي واد امبروفادو اتلان ارخاتت امبروفاتا كريديت سكور كم صاحب الشواي مانه هل تلاي مانه هل اشتري مانه depend on the problem تقتل سكور ومزيد دخله إن مارن case by case لا إن بيايتون گشقنه کردیت سکورو خون کردیت فایلو خون گشقنه شادرون لقای انا گشقنه تنها خمودیتون قد امسیتون رابط زلده کردیتو خون سکورو مزیدیتون لی امن دی خیت بحثت هم انشورنس بقرتون و ان لما ضايع خبر اتلو خون يلاقي ما يرخد داور خاسري بروبلم بي نقا انشورنس جو كاليفورنيا ان انشورنس کمپانی ادیا رابط ساتون انشورنس یا ونقبت وات رابط پیکی وینا چون بیاین قیمه مزیدیله بوده ان اطلاقون خا انشورنس ان لیلا رابطی ما ان رازیتون منو خامیمون لا ان من قم کنسل دیتون لا مکشور بودون قد اختون اویلو خون خدنا خیت انشورنس و اویتون اوردی سکیور ویدو من برای سکیور ویدو لو خونم انشورنس خون کنسل دیتون تور قم تا کنسل لبودن لا چون انشورنس خطه اشغلتو ساتونی لا أنا بقارة أوديو يعني و إن أوديو بتاعزاخين آل خزبت أوديو خزبت أوديو إتلان خا أرخا سوجل قد تيل أوديو بهمزم قاتن همزم تبدو يعني بلشانة إنجليز إيتا عادية بتاعزاخن كزدا أرخن سوجول خنا خاسر بقارة بقرخ منه بتجاوب لن. Hi Jeff.
Johnson, hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Can you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Jeff Kuch. I am an account executive with Paramount Residential Mortgage Group. I've been in the mortgage industry for 29 years. I have been an account executive, which means I represent a wholesale bank, and my clients are people like you, brokers. Okay. Prior to that, I was a regional operations manager for a large bank, and I've been an underwriter as well as an underwriting manager. So I do understand the mortgage industry from top to bottom, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
All right, thank you for coming here. You know, we have a big Assyrian community in Bay Area. We have a big Assyrian community in like Stanislaus County and LA County, and a lot of them, they're watching this program. You know, later on they might come up with some question. If they have a question, you know, I'll let you know and you can answer the question. But one of my question I have, it's $1 million question. What do you think about the rates? Are they going up?
Rates.
They're going down? You know, they're going to stay this way?
Right. So that is a very good question, interest rates. So obviously the feds have been raising rates in order to curb inflation that was caused during the pandemic. Has it worked? Yes, it has worked. Has it worked as well or as fast as they wanted it to? Nothing ever does. The speculation is that these rates are going to maintain at this level into spring, possibly summer of next year.
Okay. So it's long, in short term, it's you don't think anything's going to happen?
So in the short term, I believe we're going to see we're going to continue to see the fluctuation. But if we're looking to see rates drop down into the 6s and down into the 5s, back into the 4s, I think that's a long time coming. If you're looking for rates to ever get below 3%, I really, really doubt that'll ever happen again. But if it does, that would be wonderful. That would open up so many doors and so much affordability. But we saw what happened when rates were that low, that housing prices shot up to where you couldn't even keep up with them.
Okay. So in short term, basically nothing's going to happen in your opinion. But in long term, your expectation is the rates will go down a little bit. Not back to like 2-3%.
My long term, do I feel, I believe, and this is just a feeling I have, is that when rates are in the 4s, you have a good balance between buyers and sellers being in control. Right now, this is considered a seller's market just due to the fact that supply of homes for sale are less and less. Right? Why is that? You have a lot of people that refinanced during the pandemic and got interest rates below 3%, and they don't want to lose that. And if they sell the home, they're going to lose that 3% interest rate, that 2.75 interest rate.
Okay, that's why, in my opinion, that's why it's, you know, construction, you know, business is booming now, because people, they rather to do add-on than selling their houses and buy a bigger house.
We're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of people wanting equity lines and second mortgages simply because they have a really good interest rate on their primary mortgage and they don't want to refi out of that. That's completely understandable. So, you know, how do those, you know, but there will be cases where people will still be selling their home, moving out of the area, upsizing, downsizing. So the opportunity to buy is still there. But what we see with rates being where they are now compared to where they are two years ago, you're seeing fewer offers on the property. So you may get 3, maybe 4 offers, could have 5 or more, but you're not seeing that 16, 20, 25 offers on every property that's for sale.
Okay. You know, one other question I have is, overall the housing market. I've been hearing this from a lot of my clients. Let's wait. The rates are going up. The prices will drop soon. They keep postponing. In 2 months, 3 months, and in past year or so, nothing happened basically, and housing prices just been going up and up. What do you think?
So again, that's a correlation between supply and demand. Here in Silicon Valley, which is a major employment center, again, Los Angeles, which is a major employment center, even Sacramento, which is a big employment center, demand for housing is always going to be strong because you have the job and employment. People are going to migrate to those areas for work. And as long as people continue to migrate to those areas are going to have strong housing markets. When you have interest rates balloon like this, you do see in the rural areas where there's less opportunity, you do see prices stabilize, even come down. But here in Silicon Valley, where there's high-tech jobs and wages are high, you are going to continue to see a strong desire and demand for housing.
Okay. Yes, you're absolutely right. And one of the things, in my opinion, it's, a lot of jobs during the COVID, they were from home. They were working from home. And some of those people, they moved out of state in hope of working, from home. And a lot of companies right now, they're telling their employee they need to, show their faces in the office at least 2-3 days a week. And some of those people, they're coming back. And that's going to put more pressure on the on the housing market.
Absolutely. And I've heard a lot of stories about people who bought during the pandemic, that moved out of the area, that telecommute. And I hear a lot of stories about people have regretted that. They moved out of the area to get a house. Just because you go get a house in another area does not mean you're necessarily going to be happier. I do really feel that home is where the heart is. I'm a firm believer in that. And just because you move doesn't mean your friends and family are going to move with you. But again, I am seeing employers wanting people back into the office. I believe it was Facebook that just had a majority of their people return to the office 3 days a week. I know Apple really wants people in the office. Why is that? I do believe that there's better collaboration, better ideas, and just being social and out of the house is just healthy for you mentally. And getting up, moving around is good for you physically as well. So do I feel that going back to the office is better than working from home? I do. Are there advantages to working at home? Absolutely there is, but I do believe there's more advantages to being out and being with other people and socializing while you're at work as well.
Okay. Yeah, I 100% agree. It's the pandemic was something new.
That was a very unique time, right? And I've seen it from different areas. A good example is my son was a senior in high school in 2000 or 2020 when the pandemic started and they shut everything down. So he lost his senior year of baseball. He didn't get to go to his senior prom. There was no real graduation ceremony, and he missed honors night as well. So you have that spectrum. You've got people that were going away to college that were paying big money to have these kids stay in dorms, and they were paying for college, but they were not getting the college experience. And then when you look at the other end, you have the kids that are going into kindergarten and first grade right now, and even in the elementary school where they were home for 1.5 years, 2 years, which is a real important time for their social development, their language skills, learning to get along with others, learning to work with others. So yes, the pandemic was a very unique time. Myself, I did not enjoy being at home all the time, being stuck at home. But I understand that, it was something that was new. and people were dying from it, and the government had to step in and do what they felt was necessary to protect the general population. But yes, it was a very unique time, and interest rates were low, and it created a huge desire for lots of goods, not just homes. Making cars more affordable. People were putting money on their credit card, and unfortunately now those credit card bills are, 25, 30%, and people are having, struggle paying them. And, people have bought cars that they're upside down in, and the dealer markups, and I just can go on and on and on and on and on. And I'm glad it's over, and I would really like to see our society get back to normal.
I hope so, and I hope it doesn't come back again.
Yeah, I amen to that.
Okay, I have one question which a lot of my clients they ask, and they ask over and over, and it's a hard answer, but the question is it a good time to buy a home? And they keep asking this, but what do you think?
I believe it is always a good time to buy a home. As the real estate market fluctuates, where you have prices going up and down by a couple of percent, as time goes on, prices just keep going up. And housing prices do not keep up with inflation. They way outgrow inflation. So every time you make a mortgage payment, you're building equity and wealth for yourself. Every time you make a rent payment, you are building equity for somebody else. You are putting money into their pocket. So if you can afford to buy a house, if you have the money to put down on a house, if you have a desire to own a home, absolutely, it is always a good time to buy. Right now, an interest rate, you could be anywhere between 6.25% and 8% on an interest rate. Once rates go down, you can refi, do a rate and term, and you're not even doing anything other than refining, and you're going to lower your payment several $100s. If you wait to buy when rates go back to 4, you're going to be chasing that house and putting in an offer on that house, which could be 1 of 20 or 25, and you could be well qualified, and you could have the money to put in, but you know what? Somebody who is going to want that house more, somebody could have more cash and offer more, and a house that you love will just slip right through your fingers. And that's very sad when that happens.
And it happened before, and it's going to happen again.
It happens every day, right? You see a home, you put in an offer, and you know what? Just because you put in an offer doesn't mean you're going to get it. So is it a good time to buy? Hey, if a house goes on the market and they get 5 offers on it, your odds of getting that offer accepted are much better than 2 years from now or 2 years ago when rates were much lower. Your offer was just 1 of 20 or 30.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So is it a good time to buy? I always feel it is a good time to buy, because one of the best ways of building personal wealth is through real estate.
Exactly. I always tell my client when they ask this question, I said, if you can afford it, it's the right time to buy.
Absolutely, I agree 100%.
If you can't afford it, there's no discussion there.
Right. I know when I was a kid, I always dreamed of owning a home. And, maybe if I would have dreamed of owning 50 apartment buildings, maybe that would have happened. But, I always knew I wanted to be a homeowner, because I always knew that being a homeowner meant you could do what you want with the home, and you're not going to have somebody raising your house payment every year.
Yeah, especially in this area, the rents are super high now.
Correct. Now, again, insurance goes up, and, property taxes increase every year, but that's nothing in compared with how much rents have gone up over the last few years.
Yeah, the rents are
so
ridiculous
yes,
now.
build yourself wealth. You will never, ever regret that.
All right. And one more question. It's very related to this question. But this is for the people that already have one house or or a couple houses, and they ask me, is a good time to buy investment property? Because as you know, the rates for investment property is much higher than primary resident, but they're still thinking about this, but they just want to time it to see if it's a good time or not.
Again, you're talking about building wealth. If you have the money to buy an investment property, what do you think's more safer investment? Buying a property that you know is going to go up over time, or buying stock that fluctuates with the stock market that you have no control over? Or is it buying a commodity like buying oil or gold, which goes up and down? Real estate is a very safe, very conservative investment that has the ability to provide multiple returns. I mean, exponential returns. What do they say? Housing prices double every 10 to 15 years. Try that in the stock market, right? So absolutely, if you have the money to buy an investment property, absolutely, that's a great investment.
Okay, plus tax benefit for those people.
Yeah, you get tax benefits. You have somebody else helping you make the payment to offset the expenses. You get to write off the depreciation on your taxes because you can appreciate that over 25, 27 years.
27.5.
I'm not a licensed tax person. I advise you to consult your tax expert for that. I cannot give tax advice. But I can tell you this, absolutely real estate's a good investment.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for coming today here and give us all your most of your information for the market update. We'll be happy to see you next week again, so we can continue our discussion. Thank you.
I really, really appreciate you inviting me, and it was my pleasure to appear today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. بنام تموغبة أبيتم باسيم قد خرزة ديان يشغل خون شبت بيتاي لمدر أرخصوجي بتاعلخا إن نبيل خون خبو قارا كم سيتون زيجا مخيتون لي تكس مخيتون لي إيميل مخيتون لي بخدو تبو قارا خون زر بخلون أبيتم باسيم.
Bethia Realty and Finance is a one-stop shop. We do it all from loan, real estate, property management, credit fix, and credit rescore, and so much more. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate, including homes, businesses, or commercial real estate, Johnson Hormoz can guide you through the process. If you're looking for a loan, including purchase loan, refinance, FHA, VA, investment, DSCR, hard money, W-2 only, bank statement, stated income, reverse mortgage, and so many other loan programs, give Johnson Hormoz a call. With over 17 years of experience and several hundreds of successful transactions, he can guide you through the process. If you have no credit, bad credit, bankruptcy, foreclosure on your credit report, let Johnson Hormoz help you to get your loan.
Let me coach you to success. Your success is my goal.
DRE number 017-68924. NMLS number 264726.